Hey, this is Alan Bragwell. I'm joining you today by video. This is a new endeavor for me. I'm going to begin to develop some items and some ideas and some thoughts and put them not just in text or in long statements on Facebook or other social media or even writing, but just to use these as a video, a blog that you can tap into either to watch or to listen to maybe as you're traveling. This is Act 1, Stage 1, Step 1. We're just starting out. The lighting is still in a work in progress. And this is my office here at home where I do some work from here. So I just want to invite you to come in for a bit and join me. We'll see how it goes. I've used topics and thoughts that are relevant. I've been asking some of the folks that I work with about what they would like to, if I did something like this, what they would like to see and hear. And so what I'm going to do today is a snippet, a slice of some of the things that I've heard. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the seasons that we're in. And we're in one today in Alabama. Yesterday it was about 70 degrees. In fact, last night it was like 65 degrees about dark, and right now it's 35 and it's snowing. So it's sort of like in life, seasons change. They're not always as clear and as specific. They overlap. And sometimes the seasons are difficult to traverse and to go through. Maximizing our season, though, is the thing that we can do in our situations. And so I wanted to get you to be thinking about today and ask you to be thinking about how you can maximize your season that you're in. Obviously, we're in a very intense season around the holidays. We're in between Thanksgiving and Christmas right now. And there's just a lot going on in life. If you add to that situations and things that occur, it can really blur out the whole experience. So what I want to do is to get you to think about doing an exercise today. This is kind of a practical thing that you can actually do. Most everybody by now has got their tree up, their Christmas tree, or some kind of a thing. It could even be, it didn't even have to be a full tree. It could be a wreath. It could be any kind of particular Christmas decor that you've got in your home. And just give this a try. I'm kind of going with my book, the Christmas presents that I've written. But whether you utilize a text or a book or something like that, try this. This is an exercise where you can take some time and just regroup, rebalance, kind of get yourself grounded, get you whatever you like to sip on, if it's coffee or hot chocolate or cola or whatever, and find yourself a spot where you like to sit and just look at your tree or your decorations or the mantle or the fireplace or whatever you've got. Particularly if it's decorated. And first thing I'd like you to do is to just take a moment and try to pick out 3 or 4 specific colors on the tree. The obvious ones there are the traditional red, green, and gold. I guess was probably the big 3. Sometimes white with depending on the ornaments. But just relax for a moment, sit there and just look at the tree and pick out, let's say you just go with red first, and find a red color, an ornament, or a ribbon, or a light. On our tree, we've got all of that. I particularly like the bubble lights that we have, because usually those are, majority of them are red tipped, and you can just sit there and just think about the red color on the tree. Of course, as believers, red is a symbolic color of Christ's sacrifice. And so you can meditate on that or think about that or ponder that. Then The obvious dominant color, I guess, in any Christmas decor is green. Uh, Literally the greens of the wreaths or the tree itself. But notice the color of that color, and just again think about what that means to you, and even you can reminisce a bit about putting up your tree, or how you acquired the tree, or if you got a live one, if you went out and cut it, or if you went to a tree farm or something like we have around here. And go through some other colors along those lines, and just ponder those and consider those. Look at the lights on your tree. Look at the if you have white lights, do they twinkle? Do you have additional colored lights, multicolored lights? And again, thinking about the symbolism that goes with those, and what do those mean to you. The next thing you might want to do is identify 3 or 4 cherished ornaments on the tree. These might be some that, like on our tree, we've got them going back to grandparents, some beloved ornament from your youth, or perhaps one that your children made, or that represents a child, or even sometimes, like people like us that have had pets over the last 30 or 40 years, we kind of include some ornaments that reflect those. Buildings, travel situations, whatever. But when you look at each ornament in this section, I want you to think about if you can, about what memory that brings to you. Now, I'm going through this probably faster than you would do. You can spend some time on each one, but during that time, just kind of slow down and pause. So we've talked about ornaments, lights, the colors. I also like to remind ourselves of some of the decor of the tree that has particular symbols, like the circles, the orbs, the star, wherever you place the star on your tree, bells and snowflakes. Apples is an old Christian symbol that's attributed to the French culture. And then, of course, toy miniatures and models, but also the candy cane, which has an interesting history, and where that comes from. Just do those 3 segments, those 3 things, colors, lights, ornaments. There's just a whole lot of things you can do related to a Christmas tree, but spending 3 to 5, 6 minutes can really help you get refocused and grounded. And I like to have some music on as well. We have our favorites. And you can go, and some of you may enjoy going all, we've got our cassette box, we've got our vinyl records, but a lot of cassettes. And I know you can stream things nowadays, just about everything if you want to, but there's just still something, I guess I'm old, but it's just like putting that cassette in and listening to it, scratchiness or wobble sounds and all. But certainly your CDs. And then if you have an instrument, you could sit down and particularly if you're like me, I like to play guitar, you can just play a couple of songs, Christmas songs during this time. Anything you can do to slow down, bring it to a lower pace. And if you're like me, I like to have my technology here handy. Pop the heart rate thing when you start and get a reading. And then, because some of us like to see the progress. And after spending 3 to 5, 6, 7 minutes just chilling and resting and grounding and getting refocused, check your pulse again. You might notice that it's come down some. And if you're like me, post-coronary heart surgery kind of guy, I like to check my heart rate and my blood pressure. And they're metrics that they're reality-based. just a suggestion or two to maybe help you during this difficult and busy time is to spend some time just grounding and refocusing. Give it a try. And if you would post some comments back under this video and just let me know how it went for you. This is my very first video doing this, so I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. And again, let me know what you think. Again, thanks a lot. Have a good day. God bless.